Hi guys, I'm Garen,
I am JD.
and this is Investigating Comic Club, where we chronologically read, review, discuss, and rate specific crucial stories of the medium.
Indeed, and we hope that you guys will subscribe to become Misfit members of Comic Club yourself. Share your own opinions of the story in the comments below. Stick around till after our conversation for our episodic comic quality poll, as well as after the Misfit Picture Show's logo for any potential bloopers that the episode could provide. Mr. Garen,
Yes.
tonight we're doing our first of our chronological DC universe.
DC.
Superman, Secret Origin by Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, and John Sabow. This is your first, official foray as far as Investigating Comic Club into a DC comic, not including the Batman Adventures.
Yes, correct.
But as far as DC Universe proper.
Yep.
What'd you think? Any overall thoughts before we dive in?
It wasn't, there may be a few things that didn't line up with what I know Superman's origin from, but for the most part, it was pretty spot on. So it wasn't like anything. I knew what was coming. I knew kind of how it lined up, which was great. And then it, but yeah, it's what I expect. It's what I wanted from an origin story.
Okay, cool. I think the world of Jeff Johns, the writer of this, he's written many extraordinary gifts of stories. So much fun. I think, you have read through the kind of foundation of the chronological Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And already, I think I've mentioned before to you that I think the Marvel universe is more grounded and realistic.
Yeah.
Within its fantasy.
Yep.
The DC universe is more idealized and optimistic. Their heroes are the ideal. They are celebrated by the majority of the population. Whereas in the Marvel universe, back and forth, they're hated, they are loved. It would more kind of like reality, and it's kind of a bummer sometimes.
Yeah.
But it is more grounded, whereas this, if it's done, I think, correctly, the DC universe should always, no matter how dark it will get, there is a level of optimism and joy to be found.
Yeah.
I think the original Superman by Richard Donner from the 70s, it holds up very, very well if you rewatch it. It's a joyous movie. It's very, very fun. And Gary Frank, the artist from this, does an extraordinary job of capturing Christopher Reeve's Superman. Like, every picture of both Clark Kent and Superman in this, it's like a picture of Christopher Reeve. It's really cool that they went that way. And Jeff Johns, just a piece of trivia, started his professional career, I believe, as Richard Donner's personal assistant. So the director of Superman, Superman 2, the Lethal Weapon movies, Jeff Johns, the writer of this, was his personal assistant for many, many years before he started writing comics. Yeah.
Was the version or Dr. Mateo? Who's this one? Not this guy, the green guy? What's the green guy's name?
The green guy? Oh, Metallo, yeah.
Was that original? Is that the origin story normally, or?
Very, very similar. Yep, Metallo, the man with the kryptonite heart. He,
Mm-hmm.
a,
And there's different versions of him, or is it just?
yeah, there are different versions of him. I believe the gentleman that's in love with Lois Lane and was part of the military and was underneath Lois's father. I believe that's a fairly classic
Cool.
piece of lore. One of the big things that they changed in this was that Luther and Clark met in Smallville
Yeah.
as at a
Yeah.
young age.
Yep. Yep.
That
Mm-hmm.
that is directly from the TV series Smallville,
Smallville. Gotcha. Oh,
which
so that wasn't originally, which makes sense because I think even when I watched Smallville, knowing what I kind of didn't know but knew about Superman before,
Mhm.
I was like, wait, what? He knew him from. I always thought it was like in the Smallville, they're like friends,
right,
actually.
right,
Like they're,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those changes that I believe comics are always better when they are paving the way that the stories of the movies and the TV shows follow. When it's flipped around, it very rarely works. It
Mm-hmm.
feels, even in this issue, even in this story, what changes by Clark knowing Lex as a kid, like it feels shoehorned a bit.
Yeah.
There's no
And even with him
reason.
being, it's not even like they were friends.
Right.
It was just he was a jerk. Cool. He has the same personality. He goes out and he's like, yeah, I remember you.
Exactly.
Like,
There's literally
remember?
like a sentence that, oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
just to
remember
show.
you. I
Yeah, I
remember those
remember you.
glasses.
Yeah, I'm like,
And that was it. I think
you
personally,
did
I
all
think
that
it's
backstory for that line.
unnecessary. Yeah. On the flip side of that, Harley Quinn is from the Batman animated series. She's
Mm-hmm.
an amazing character that eventually went into the comic books
Yeah.
from the animated, so it can work. But
Mm-hmm.
this one, it felt unnecessary to me
Yeah.
personally. But I like, I love this artist is so charming. There's so much character in every character. When they're kids, Lana and Clark's relationship is so
Mm-hmm.
adorable.
Mm-hmm.
The powers kind of combined with puberty, it's not a new thing, but it's always fun when it's done well.
Yeah.
That moment when he saves her and they crash into the water, him and Lana,
Mm-hmm.
and she kisses him, and just the little detail of her shirt, like her shoulder uncovered from her shirt in the water,
Mm-hmm.
like it's so adorable and it's so personal. It kind of like there's such nostalgia there. It like
Yeah.
strikes a certain memory of mine. I don't even know which one, but back in the day when I had like my first kiss, like those little details that
Yeah.
you notice in that moment where like it can be something as simple as like a little bit of a frayed thing on her sweater or something like
Yeah.
that,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
you notice, and it just in the art it brings it to life. And I think
Yeah.
these two are really, really special collaborators.
Um, yeah, and like I said, it was not knowing exactly what the origin story is, but it did flow together nicely. It was a good 6 issues of being able to connect the dots of child adolescence, where
Mhm.
he came from. Um,
Mhm. Such a beautiful moment with his dad where he's like, I just want to be your son. Can't I just be your son?
yeah, and he's
And the
like, "You'll
dad
always
is
be my
like,
son."
you are my son.
Yep, yep.
It's a beautiful moment. And actually, I don't know if you remember in Man of Steel, Kevin Costner, there is a moment where he says
Oh
exactly
no,
that.
yeah, he does say exactly that. Yeah,
And
yeah,
this actually version of it that I've got, it's got an introduction by David S. Goyer, who co-wrote Man of Steel and all
nice.
the Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy from Christopher Nolan. And
Yeah,
this is influential, very influential on the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And I think that moment is it's so special. It's so great. You feel
I did
his outsider.
enjoy how, I don't know what issue it was. Maybe it was the first issue, but probably not the first issue. When he goes into Metropolis for the first time.
That's like the
in
third.
that, so it is the third. That's why I was like, but the moment where they are angry, you know, that whole New York attitude of like, hey, I'm walking here, hey, out of my way, all this, da, da, da.
Yeah.
And then for it to all end with, hey, I'm walking here, what are you doing? We all look up. You never know if he's going to be flying through the sky, you know, like,
yeah,
that was a cool change of, you know, full circle.
Yeah, and it shows the power of how one man can make a difference. You know, that's the joy of, like, again, optimistic.
Yeah.
Naive. But the ideal, you know, like we could only hope.
Yeah.
It's pretty special.
It's weird to think too, like the generations, because again, I'm younger, but I still know when I think of Superman, even though the movies that haven't really said it much in the last 10 years or so, but when I still think of Superman, I still think of, you know, like faster than a speeding bullet, you know, like stronger than a locomotive, you know, and that whole opening, you know, and just to think about
away, you know,
yeah, exactly.
Look in the sky, like, is it a bird?
They
Is it a plane?
really add to that. They don't have those moments in the nowadays films, I don't think, or if they do, they try to dabble it in, but not enough for it to be. It's almost like, oh, they said it, but not enough for it to, like, somebody younger than me to think of when they think of Superman, you know, like when someone goes, who's faster than a speeding bullet? Trivia in 10 years from now, people are like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny because I think, you know, Zack Snyder with Man of Steel, it's clear what he was trying to do. He felt like in today's day and age, he had this 5-movie plan, and he was going to take Superman in today's day and age, dissect him, deconstruct him to eventually get to a point where it was full of hope, and it is that Superman.
Yeah.
And that's one way to do it. I don't necessarily agree. You know, like this comic compared to Man of Steel, where at the end Superman snaps that guy's neck and kills him. The hope and optimism that you feel in this, and the joy that you are getting reading it, you certainly don't get that from watching Man of Steel.
No, you don't get that hope.
I think it's unfortunate when you get to the end and Jimmy Olsen says to Lois Lane, Superman's cool, right? And she's like, yeah, Superman's cool. And it is, Superman's cool.
It's cool.
Right? Like, it is nostalgic. It is retro, but embrace it, you know? Like even the rocket ship, it's so goofy. It looks like it's out of the 50s. It's charming.
Yeah, I mean, charming. I'm pretty sure it was this one. He was at when his mom made him the suit, just out of the material that he was woved in from the blanket. But then for him to be like, all right, get a good look, because I'm not ever wearing this again.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. And he, when he meets the Legion of Superheroes, and it's like Sun Boy or Iron Lad or
that's what kind of threw me off a little bit. I mean, it was great, but I was just like,
what?
I was like, what? You're just throwing me into this whole new world of, oh, I'm not, you know, I'm not the only one, and then just jump right back out of it. Be like, okay, cool. Well, that's great. I'll find out more about them hopefully later.
Yeah, indeed you will. But I think, you know, it's a charming little future sequence when they're like, Earth is for everyone, you know, like that whole, it's kind of that timeless attitude that stems from Superman. You know, to see his beginning and to see what he inspired is
Yeah.
really cool. And even if you look back, we were talking about in Watchmen how the Night Owl got that issue of Action Comics in 1939 and was inspired by the first
Oh, yeah.
superhero, Superman.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Superman did inspire superheroes for our
Yeah.
world. You know, it's just cool that within this as well, within this universe, he does go on to inspire future
Yeah.
generations. It's pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool. Little moments are really charming with Clark. Lois, when Lois shows up, she is a bold personality, but not in an abrasive way, like in a really like
Yeah, no. She's doing her
inspired.
job. She's, she's feisty, but she's still,
Yeah.
she's on the case.
Yeah, when she gets Clark, like she hikes her skirt up and Clark
Mm-hmm.
lifts her and he's like looking away as he does it, and then
Yep.
she
Yep.
hikes her skirt down. Just the personality there and the drawings of her. Yeah, you'd fall in love with somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you would. She's adorable, and look at her go. Good for her. It's pretty awesome. There's a lot that is established here. You get Lois and Clark, Lois and her dad,
Mm-hmm.
the Chief, Jimmy Olsen, Lex Luthor, all of the important beats of the mythos.
Yeah.
They're all present.
Yeah, it was a great read. It was a simple. I was able to just like, I'm reading it on the DC Universe app.
Yeah. That's super cool.
So it's in issues rather than in a full graphic novel put together. So I do have to like jump back and forth, or not jump it, but go from each issue. But the paneling is nice because it does connect it more. But I did catch myself more so reading full page.
Okay.
On this, more
That's
than
cool.
panels.
Well, I think the artist, he's a great panel-to-panel storyteller, and his page layouts.
Yeah.
They're a beauty. They're a joy to read. You've mentioned before, like fluidity. I bet was it a quick read for you?
No, yeah, it was a quick read. Yeah, like I mean, if it wasn't for the act of having to get out of that book and go to the next book, like go to the next issue, I wouldn't have really maybe known that or to take a break or not take like it would just could have flowed. I wouldn't have had a need a break in my reading.
Yeah, I think, again, by steering away from the like naive optimism is kind of, it's a disservice to the character.
Mm-hmm. Like
you should lean into it. People, it's timeless, especially like at a time like now. People want to dive into Peter Pan or
the
Little Mermaid. There's no reason that you can't respect and give Superman a smack on the back and say, like, keep at it. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. It's rescue that cat from the tree. Of course, do it.
You're gonna be like, great. Anything really to just give me hope and smile and enjoy my day,
Yeah, indeed. I think that this one is a pretty special tale, not without its flaws. But for what it accomplishes, I'm hovering between a B+ and an A-.
Yeah. I mean, for it being what it is, I'll give it across the board. I'll give it to someone for an A.
Cool.
It tells what you need to know to go into it. The art was great. It was cute. It gave you that hope, what you would want from what you've been telling me what DC shit is.
Yep.
And and something that is a good page turner that makes you not really have to realize that you should stop.
Yeah.
And then end with, hope or optimism, just
Yeah.
have that end
Yeah.
looking out and what is to come, let's see where that road goes.
Yeah, you get up feeling pretty good after this read. I think that's pretty awesome. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it, because this writer writes several of the comics we're going to be reading from DC over the next little bit. And
Nice.
This artist actually joins him on several of those. So it's pretty cool. Next time, guys, I hope, like Garen said, he's got the DC Universe
app or subscription.
So it's app on your phone plus on your tablet and on your TV. It's all kind of connected.
Yeah, it's all connected. You can even read the comics on your TV if you download it on your device.
And how much is that in a month?
That one, I believe, it comes out to $7.99 after the first week trial.
Okay, that's a dynamite steal. If you guys are interested in reading along with us for this journey, Garen has looked up. The first several are definitely on there. The next one we're going to read is an absolute favorite of mine. I think it is one of the most inspiring stories I've ever experienced, regardless of medium. Batman Year One.
Batman Year One.
David Mussolini. It's gorgeous. I have the deluxe edition. I actually have the singles as well, but this version of it is really pretty. But Garen, you said that you could read this one on the app. It's available?
I believe so. I have looked into it. I just had to make sure officially. What year is that one?
1986.
1986. Because there's a few Batman Year Ones, so I knew I had to look into seeing exactly which one it is. The one that was on here first, like jumps up at you, is the 1940s.
Okay. It should be written by, yep. Yeah, because it first was in Batman the 1940s, that started in 1940s as issue, I think, 404 to 408. Gotcha. As long as Frank Miller is writing it, you're good to go.
Gotcha. Cool. All right.
And
all right, guys.
So you guys know, actually, after that, we're going to be doing Wonder Woman Year One.
Ooh.
And we're going to be doing Batman, the Man Who Laughs. Then I believe it's going to be Green Lantern Secret Origin and Batman the Long Halloween. I'll kind of stop there, but just so you guys know the next several. So Batman Year One next time, Wonder Woman Year One after that, Batman the Man Who Laughs, and Green Lantern Secret Origin. There's some really fun stuff in there. So I hope that you guys...
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And if you're new to this and you agree with us, let us know in the comments below what you grade it in our comment quality poll, A, B, C, D, or F, and let us know. And also, if you have any questions or what you feel about this issue.
Indeed. Share your opinions with us. We look forward to reading them.
To be continued.
Good job, Mr. Garen. We did it.